For today's cup of coffee with Scream,
Cup of coffee.
we got to do stuff.
Yeah, it's actually not a scream.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it could have been, but it wasn't.
It could have been, but it wasn't. It was actually really fun.
It was. There's a gentleman who has bought quite a few buildings in the tiny town that is near us, and he's doing stuff with the town.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been begging him, it's like, please buy the whole damn place and love it.
Yes, please. I mean, even other people are talking about how, it feels like it's alive.
Yeah. And so they had one of the gentlemen that works with him, and I don't know if it's his son or if it's another business associate or whatever, but there's an ice cream shop. Mm-hmm. And this young man runs that also. I do know that the gentleman who has bought the buildings, that his daughter has a farm, a local farm, and that they sell the meat. They go and they have the animals harvested, and then they bring the meat to the ice cream shop, and it's got freezers and stuff like that in it. And so
it's really good products.
Yeah. And I know that the gentleman at one point had businesses in Asheville. And so that was my concern with, the devastation in that area. And he no longer has businesses there. Everything is in the tiny town.
Heck yeah. He's putting all his love and energy into it.
Yeah. And I'm sure that he, at this point, was really grateful for the decision. Mm-hmm. And so the young man that runs the ice cream shop, he had a festival, was back in the summer or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't get to attend that one because kid was unwell that day. And so he had been having this one today, October the 5th of 2024. And so to go, and it was not a huge festival. The first time that somebody has an event, don't expect a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I think that was the first time, like, all the food trucks were, like, right there at the stage, too.
Could be. And it's going to take him a little while to figure out where, what works better as far as the placement and different things like that. Mm-hmm. But we got out there at an odd hour, which was about 3 or 4 o'clock this evening.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
And there was not a tremendous amount of vendors and stuff as far as craftspeople and different things like that, but there was enough. And to be able to go and talk to these people, which I enjoy greatly.
They were all really good people.
Yeah. And this one lady it was her first time as far as crocheting.
Uh-huh.
And making these different things and stuff like that. And so on the picture, the little candy corn, and then the little ghost in the pumpkin, and it pops up. Oh. You can pull him up a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Just adorable.
That's cool.
And what were you going to say on the
little toys with you got a spider.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another down at the end of.
Is it too early? Did you want to talk about that later?
No, that's fine. And it was one of those, I did a big stupid, because when we got there, and I'm like, I don't have cash. Yeah. And it's just like, oh.
And most of the vendors, except for like one, had like option for card.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the blue and white thing, it's a zombie head. Yeah. And if you squeeze it, it's got the little beads, and it's got the little... Mm-hmm. How do you even describe that?
It's
like
Orbeez stress ball.
Yeah, okay, that works. And then the little
or like
spider.
Those scented beads.
Yeah,
but in a stress ball.
And so we got to meet the lady that she is an artist. She has a store there in the tiny town, and she also does art classes. Mm-hmm. And to get to talk to her, and she was wonderful. And as far as youngest kid going out and doing one of the painting things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be great. Because basically it's art therapy.
It is.
And she's got it in a style to where anybody could do it.
I mean, I'll have to deal with locals.
It'll be okay. You dealt with locals all day long, and they was just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of our interesting locals, and we have, every area has characters. People that end up being characters. I may be one of those. I may be. But anyhow, this gentleman, he's sort of becomes legendary, and he had some artifacts and different things like that, historical items that he has collected. If that's the same gentleman that I think it is, and I'll have to check with Mom tomorrow, he is an amazing historian. I mean, he truly is of this area. And that there was a book that he had written as far as Bigfoot.
Yeah. Oh, you should have got the book.
Well, I thought about that, but and that's probably there at the museum. We'll have to check with the museum and see if you can buy it there. And I asked him, I said, have you seen a Sasquatch? And he said, yes, I have. And I'm not sure exactly where his property is per se, but he said that that piece of land has been in his family since the 1700s.
That's incredible.
And that when he was 13, 14, something like that, that he did see a Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling Kid that he did not get a good look at the face, but the thing was relatively close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, enough to where I'm going, no.
He said he wasn't mean, though.
No, he said that as far as the creature, and that there is communication with it as far as the whoops and different things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder which...
You were standing right there. Didn't you hear what the man said?
Mama. There was so much going on, and I was overstimulated.
My bad.
I was overstimulated.
It's the ADHD.
There was a person that had 3D printed toys.
Yeah.
They were cool.
Yeah. And it's like, there was a gentleman that was an author. Oh, let me, before I get to that, because he's getting me all over the place here too. We walked down to the end, and beside where they had the little crocheted spider and different things, and she had this one that was a dragon.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
I wonder how much.
I think it was about $75, which for the amount of work, it was worth it. It was worth it. But there was another little booth, and had the little pony bead bracelets and stuff. And it was one of the ladies' 10-year-old son. And his intention was that he had created these bracelets. At first he was trying to sell these things to buy a laptop.
Mm-hmm. And
he said that whatever money that he made that day, he was going to donate to the people there in Damascus that had been, impacted by Helene. And so I said, that is an honorable young man. Mm-hmm. And so she called him. She's like, well, here, I'll let you tell him yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And to encourage him.
He thought enough that he was like, I want to raise money to help. Mm-hmm. I want to help.
Yes. And then there was another young man who apparently, he was pretty much on the spectrum. There's a lot of people on the spectrum these days. And his name was Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
And he was wonderful to sit and talk to him. And, because we were talking about it's important that we reclaim our heritage as far as being Appalachian people. And that, like that festival, it's a needed thing for communities to come back together, to do things together, to learn who each other is. And it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And
really getting to know the people.
Yeah. And then there was this one gentleman with books.
Oh.
And he had books. And he was not, I don't know where they found him. He was a transplant.
He's something.
And he was explaining about the book that's pictured there. Let's see if I can see on the back of this. That some of the other ones were available on Amazon because I said, dumbass here, I came out without any cash. He said, well, you could go to the Cargo. They have an ATM. And I went, But it intrigued me. Because that means for that man to say that, he has done these festivals and stuff enough that he understands the marketing tactic.
He gets it.
And it was admirable. Oh, he's from Newport, Tennessee.
Oh?
Is where it is. And God love him, 7.5 years of active duty in the U.S. Army, 2 combat tours of Afghanistan. Wow.
That is incredible.
If I had known that, I would have thanked him. I truly would have. And so the book that he had written here, called Leads, and his name is Corey Phillips, is about the Jersey Devil.
Which is an interesting cryptid.
Yes. And it's just like, oh, wow.
You don't often hear people talk about it anymore. There was sort of a craze in like mid-2000s or something like that. And so you saw a lot of stuff about it online, but now it's just gone by the wayside.
Unless it's those of us that's our thing.
Yeah.
We met others like us today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a good like Jersey Devil short movie that was on YouTube at one point. I loved that short movie. I think it got took off or something like that.
Ah.
I don't know. I think there was issues with the creator or something like that.
Okay. But anyhow, I had told this gentleman, I said, well, let me go, I'll get some cash and I'll come back. And I told Kid, I said, because at that point we were thinking of having to go to the Walmart. Cat food, it's always the damn cat food.
We're going tomorrow.
It's perpetual.
We're going tomorrow.
And so I thought, because I never get cash out of the ATM, I just don't.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, I've got a little bit of cash at home. And so just came back home and got enough to where I could get the book, which was only $15. Mm-hmm. But I looked at him and I said, you didn't think that I would come back? Because I have run vendor booths before, it's not fun. It can be fun, but it's not always. But I'm also a person of my word.
You are.
And so
usually the people that are like, oh yeah, I'll be back, they won't come back. That's usually like, let me walk around, let me think about it for a bit, and I just don't come back to it.
Well, if it's somebody that's one of these annoying sellers, then yeah, I occasionally might do that. It's like, oh, I don't think about it. And it's like, well, I just don't go back because I thought about it.
Yeah.
But this gentleman, and he said that it was the same price. It was $15, whether you got the hardback or whether you got the paperback. And I'm like, I want the hardback. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, have you signed it? And he had signed them because these were not available online. Now, he does have
except for
a book.
one.
He does have a book that is available on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And I'll put his name in the description box so you can go and see whatever book that he has on Amazon. Support these people. Mm-hmm. But also we got enough to where we could go and buy the other babies.
Other babies.
The cutesies.
The little crochet plush babies. Also that one boy that was on the spectrum, it was also from that tent that had the zombie head.
Okay.
And the spider. It's a whole family of autism.
It could be, and there may be a genetic component to that. I'm not sure that there's not, but also if they're that close in age, and they've had to have the same vaccines, that there could be a link. They don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions and not many answers. But the lady that made the little candy corn.
A little whole tent of spectrum.
Well, we know that the ADHD is...
It's common.
It is common, but it also is very much hereditary.
Yeah.
There's very much a genetic component with that. Mm-hmm. But this was the first time that she had crocheted these things. She had been, what was it? They wanted her to crochet a quilt or something, and she was just like, nah.
Yeah. It was the person who made like the candy corn and the little ghost in the bucket.
Yeah. And so she made those, and they were just adorable. Mm-hmm. And I got one more product that she had made because BB has a birthday coming up, so I don't want to talk about it because she does occasionally listen to these.
Yeah. So got to keep it under wraps.
Just adorable.
It was, and it's just like, yep, that's babies.
But to discuss with these people, and there was another vendor beside this lady, and she had different earrings, all these different Halloween earrings.
She did.
I should have put a pair of those because I got Plague Doctor, and they had these wonderful red coffins, and they were just too cool.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, they had said, oh, you brought your stuff for Halloween. And she's like, no, this is just how we are. And I'm like, you're one of us. Yeah. And to raise the sleeve up and show the tattoo.
Yes.
And it's like, yes, our people. Yeah.
She also had a bucket of 3D printed stuff in the front. There was an alien in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting because they had made these interesting little art pieces out of spent shell casings, both 12 gauge and other. And I'm like,
that's hilarious.
If you can't reload the brass, then do art with it.
Yeah, I kept staring at it. And I'm like, what is that? Is that really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is Appalachian culture.
It is.
It is. The good, the bad, the ugly, the weird. It's all of it. But I'm going to talk to Kyle and to Tim about the possibility at some point of them having some kind of, like, I had a friend that had an antique mall at one point, and what he did, he rented out space. Different vendors had a certain space, and then they could do their little setup or something like that, of possibly getting something like that going for craftspeople in the area, and then you could set up an Etsy shop and help these people.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
We have so many creative people, just, it's unreal. And a lot of them don't have the confidence to do some of these things themselves.
Yeah.
Especially when they're first starting out.
Yeah, and they don't know how. They don't know how to start.
Right.
They don't know how to get out there. Put their name out there.
Why not have somebody help them get that start?
Right.
I mean, all they can do is tell me no, and it's like, hell, I've been told no about a lot of shit over the years, you know? Mm-hmm. But I don't think that he will. I don't think he will. Because if I present it to him, that, or even that they could have some little shelves there in the ice cream shop that has some of the little crocheted things or different things like that.
Yeah, and part of the sale goes to them.
Mm-hmm. Or even the lady that has the emporium.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a good deal. That would help some of them out.
Absolutely.
Well, do it. Why not do it?
Yeah, well, I will. You know I will.
No, I'm talking about dude. Do it.
Well,
Make a deal with these people.
Well, when I said something to Kyle, he's like, he just hadn't thought it.
You got to have some. That's why people like you exist, because you just got to put that bug in people's ears.
Right, because I have done things. I have tried things. And just because it did not work for me personally, I still have the knowledge how to do some of these things. And if I could help somebody else achieve their goals, why would I not?
What is that job position called? Business advisor or something like that?
I just always called it bullshitter, but anyhow. But these guys,
Put bugs in people's ears.
even as far as entrepreneurs, that some people can get really focused in one area. They can get that tunnel vision, and they other offshoots of that to sit there and go, hey, you got this going, you could also do this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
just coolness.
a good day. We didn't make it to the Walmart, and that was all right.
Mm-hmm. But we going tomorrow.
Yeah, well, maybe. It depends. But I was just, I was so disappointed that I didn't go to the other one, but I was not going to go with Kid not being able to go.
I would have been perfectly fine with you going.
It was one of those things that, honestly, when I did see Kyle and his little face just kind of, I say little, the man's like 6'.
He's a tall man.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
And his face just light up. It's like, hey, you got it. And it's like, yes.
And he hugged you.
Yeah. Because maybe I am one of those characters.
You are. But you are an adored character. I love you. Mama, the way that we act, how are we not the character?
Well,
how are you not a character?
That's true.
And I mean that with the most endearing and
It's
loving.
true. But at least I would rather have somebody that when they see me smile than somebody try to run before they see me. Mm-hmm. That would be, how horrible would that be? And there are some people that you're just like, oh hell no, I don't want to step in that today. Why would you do that? I mean, why not lift people up?
Right.
That's something I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoy it. And to interact with each other. And this is a good thing. These guys have started a wonderful thing. And I wish them and I had already told them before the other one, I said, I can't do a lot these days, but I can do some things.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was a matter of going around, encouraging the vendors, purchasing what I could, having, just thinking of ideas, how can we make this even better? I can do that.
Yep. You can.
Final thoughts, Kid.
It was a great day.
It was. We had needed a day like this. And the weather was good. And that's what I should have taken pictures of the pumpkins.
Good. It didn't rain today.
It didn't rain, and we had some sunshine.
Yeah.
And it had been well over a week since we had a day where we had relatively clear skies.
Yeah. And that sunshine was greatly appreciated.
But I should have taken pictures of all the pumpkins because he had a farmer on, it's called White Top. Because the elevation is so high.
There's snow.
That they snow and pretty much close to year round.
Mm-hmm.
White Top is not someplace that you want to be when the sun goes down if you are not dressed appropriately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically got to be in winter gear.
Yeah. Year round. But anyhow, it was warm enough up there where he had somebody that grew pumpkins. And so he had pumpkins lining the walkways and different things, and it was glorious. Now, if we had stayed, I do not like to drive at night anymore, but I know he had said that there was a fire dancer that he was going to have out there, but it was going to be about 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you can totally appreciate the art form while it's still daylight.
Right. And was that supposed to happen today?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What time does it end? It's already ended, I'm sure.
I think that they were going to go from like 11 to 11 this time.
Oh.
So, and that they were
we
going to
could go out there and peek again.
I don't like to drive at night.
I could drive you.
Oh, no. It's too late. It's like
the Brother Mobile has better headlights.
I was concerned as far as, because when I got up this morning, I thought, I have a cold. Oh, God, I do not want to be sick.
Yeah, you were freaked out because it's like, no, I want to go. I
Right.
want to go.
So, therefore, I took Golden Seal, I took Sudafed, I took Mucinex, I took ashwagandha, I took, and I pressed through.
Mm-hmm.
And we were blessed.
We were blessed. We were really blessed.
Community, Appalachian culture, teaching our children to be proud of our heritage instead of ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I've been an advocate on that for many, many years. Many. So, if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural, maybe you too have seen a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Now, dude was serious. I told him, I said, that my mother had heard that. I told him, I said, like, don't be calling them Squatch.
I'll be calling the Squatch.
They apparently are territorial according to what his belief is.
And they don't stink.
He said, no, he said it didn't stink at all.
So then it can stay around the house. It doesn't stink.
But and maybe again,
you're like, no Bigfoot staying around the house.
Maybe because there are some, but I think that was more towards like Louisiana or someplace that they were calling it the skunk ape.
Yeah. Well, they got some spirits over there anyway, so
there could be different species of this,
mm-hmm.
which I still think that it's some breed of Gigantopithecus. I think it's some kind of North American, great ape or something along that line. I truly do. So anyhow, if you've got experiences
it could be a big monkey.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. With UFOs, aliens, cryptids, any of that good stuff, put it in the comment section or over on X, because like I said, I'm so far behind on email that it just, the thought of it kind of freaks me out right now. I'll get to it eventually, but I go through these phases. I do. It's usually around the same time of year. You want to do your spiel?
If you like this video, check us out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter. We're Alanda, COCWS. Thank you for joining us. Have a good. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good day.
It was a good day. It was a really good day. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.